You've just landed on the Coolest People in the World podcast, a show that features stories of cool people doing really cool things. From business, art, and travel to lifestyle, mental health and family, and everything in between. Join host Krystle J Bailey as she introduces you to some of the coolest people in the world. Here's Krystle.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Coolest People in the World podcast. I'm your host, Krystle J Bailey. I am so excited to be here at this brand new table on this brand new platform with my friends. It's been a journey. This life has been a journey, and the Coolest People in the World podcast is a culmination of worlds and experiences that I am excited to share with you. A little bit about how we got here. It's been an interesting and fast ride over the past few months. I wrote a book, Nourish. If you don't know anything about me, I wrote a book, Nourish, in 2017 after years of blogging and sharing my story and sharing life experiences as a young 20-something-year-old on social media when social media was not quite what it is today. And one thing led to another, one blog led to another, and soon I had a following of 17,000 people that loved what I had to say. So when my book came out in 2017, I reached out to a local news publication, Shore Local News Magazine, to feature myself as a local artist. And I really believe in deep and abiding relationships and how the ripple effect of shining our light affects the whole world and introduces you to the people that you need to meet along the way. And so Cindy Furch, who read my book from Shore Local News Magazine, she asked me to write a woman's column and was reminded that when I got my first column in 2018, I joked, you couldn't tell me I wasn't Carrie Bradshaw. So as life has it, and as we continue to evolve, I started to write about the local community, and through my journey, I met some of the coolest people in the world. So when I was introduced to my friend Kevin Kennedy of Your Valuable Home podcast, and he quickly said, hey, Krystle, you got the juice to have a podcast? I said, sure, life's a journey, let's go. And here we are. And so I'm excited to bring the different worlds that I've been a part of to one table and to create a space where the people that I've met have a place to shine and have a place to be whatever version of themselves that they want to be that day. Because, you know, when I'm out interviewing people in the community and I'm interviewing the change makers and the performers and the chefs and the ballerinas, and I'm hearing what they do, I'm also hearing parts of their story that don't make it to my articles. So the coolest people in the world are some of these people that fly just under the radar, and the people you haven't met yet, and the people that they don't maybe want their face on the billboard, but they are such an integral part of the lives of people that are on the billboard. Or, you know, just by living in their truth, they are a huge part of making the world go round and living an authentic life and showing up for themselves. They are an integral part of the big magic, the whole picture. And so these are the people that I've met along the way, the makeup artists that are makeup artists for celebrities and people who have performed all over the world but love to come home and eat a big bowl of spaghetti at the end of the day, or artists who have told me about their art, but I've learned about their childhood and the food that they ate with their grandmother that led them to where they are today and gave them the life lessons and the things, the life mantras that they carry with them. And so I've had such a unique point of view through what I do on these people, and so much of it gets lost in the sauce, and I want to tell more of their story. I want to create a space where these people who, yes, he's an investment banker, but he's also a chef and a model, and he lights up when he talks about his grandmother's kitchen. I want to tell the rest of that story. I want to tell the story of the person who joined the circus and found a love for aerial performance. These are the people that I've met along the way, the people who have become magicians but were once football players and become the most sought after real estate agents because they found something super niche and creative, but they went to school for accounting or whatever. Everybody has such a unique journey, and there's so much more to the story than is told. And as someone who has always had a gift of communication and felt led to share stories and to be a storyteller and to be a writer, which is who I am at the core of things, at the core of who Krystle is, I'm a writer and a storyteller. And I've been writing and sharing made up stories since I was 5 years old. And now life being full circle brings you back to where you started. And so there was once upon a time I was writing fictional stories and sharing them to my mom's, printing them and making copies on the copier machine and distributing them to my mom's office in Margate, New Jersey, where all these people would read stories written and illustrated by Krystle J Bailey. I went on and went to college and I had kids and I became a blogger, and then I became an author, and then I became a journalist, and my journalism led me to being a radio co-host. I co-host Joe's Table for Two on WOND, which is how I met Kevin Kennedy and how I met Frank and how we landed here. So life has such a way of bringing you back full circle and reintroducing you to your gifts over and over and over again as you continue to elevate through life and evolve as a human. And so I'm very excited to be back to a place of storytelling and sharing and communicating with people around the world. And I've had so many different stories that I look forward to sharing, different parts of the journey that have made me who I am, the things that I've learned. And so I want to bring the coolest people in many worlds because they're the coolest people, I think, are the coolest people in my world, whether they're business owners or ballerinas or chefs or they're healers or they're enlightened individuals just moving through life and shining their light on people. There's so many different parts of this big, beautiful world and amazing people doing amazing things. I look forward to bringing people from all different walks of life, from the healing space and the cannabis world, which has been a huge part of my self-evolvement and self-evolution. The people that I've met there are some of the coolest people, just like I said, flying right under the radar, but making magic happen in their respective spaces. And I've gone from howling at the moon and sitting through sound baths and roaring in rivers to sitting at dinner with millionaires and the best of the best in Atlantic County. And so I've seen the humanness in all of these rooms and in all of these spaces. And I've been given a unique perspective and a unique love of storytelling that I believe you guys are going to enjoy very much. And when you hear these stories of these people that I've met along the way and the people I've yet to meet. All that being said, here's what you need to do. Go to wherever you get your podcasts and leave me a 5-star review, the Coolest People in the World podcast. We're going to build this thing together. There are people I haven't met yet, and some of them, quite frankly, I don't want to meet. But for those I have and for those I haven't, I'm excited to bring it all to this table with the Coolest People in the World podcast. So give me a follow, Krystle J Bailey on social media, Krystle J Bailey, Bailey, and the Coolest People in the World podcast. And you'll be hearing from me every Thursday with some of the coolest people in the world.
You've been listening to the Coolest People in the World podcast with Krystle J Bailey. Visit us online today at thecoolestpeoplepodcast.com.